Good afternoon. We want to thank our board members, our superintendent for allowing our youth organizers from Knowledge and Family Center to present on tonight on the abolishment of corporal punishment, a campaign that they've been working on for quite some time, and it has developed over a course of the school years, and they want to continue to present to the board and also to our audience on the abolishment of corporal punishment and the work that we've been doing around corporal punishment in both our schools and our communities. So thank you again, and I hope that you're open to our suggestions and alternatives to corporal punishment.
Good evening. My name is Curtis Hill. Keys right there is Cooper. And we're youth organizers with Knowledge and Family Center. We're here to present our position on why we think corporal punishment should be abolished in the Holmes County School District.
Again, I'm Darius Cooper. So Knowledge and Family Center is a community-based organization here in Lexington, Mississippi. We work to empower the African American community through youth leadership development, education reform, community organizing, and impacting public policy. And one of our programs is the Community Service Learning Project for Social Change.
Knowledge and Family Center's Community Service Learning Project for Social Change program is a community-based action research project. The goal of this program is to engage students, their parents, and schools in learning activities, community-based service, learning placement experience. So this is what we are. We as a district, so first let me tell you what you're looking at a Mississippi School District 2012-2013 accountability ranking and critical teacher shortage. Counties in green are grade A. Counties in light blue are letter grade B. Counties in yellow are grade C. And orange, D, and pink are F. This map is showing us critical teacher shortages, accountability rankings, and the poverty rankings. So, and looking at this map, if you look at this map, you will see a circle, and the county circles are the 2nd congressional district under the leadership of Senator Benny Thompson, Congressman Benny Thompson. Sorry. Okay, so all the counties you see are high in poverty. We're the largest black district. We're receiving free and reduced lunch. We have critical teacher shortages, majority unsuccessful schools, and out of these 15 counties, 6 or less are successful. We are oppressing our own people. Whether we're doing this, we're doing just what Willie Lynch wanted us to do. Instill fear, distrust, envy, favoritism, and control. We need to get back to teaching our youth positive alternatives. And Community Service Learning Project, but this is mainly why we started. We wanted to look at the Community Service Learning Project for Social Change.
So due to the physical state of our communities, we saw fit for change. So we began to hold a series of meetings with students where we identified social emergencies in our homes, schools, and communities. We found violence to be the most critical problem. We began to document violence by keeping a violence journal. These violence journals help us to keep track of the violence that we witness in our homes, schools, and communities. Using the violence we recorded, we created a violence statement. This statement helped us see the immediate need to address violence in the Holmes County community. Though we wanted to take action right then, we needed to first know who we were individually and know our history as African Americans. So we began to learn about the scholars of Timbuktu who were African. They were well educated and aware of how important it was to obtain knowledge. These scholars were not only intellectually focused, but also served as a governance structure for mediating conflict within the region. Therefore, we decided to follow in the footsteps of our ancestors and use their model of mediation to help us solve violence in our communities.
Violence is a major social emergency within the Holmes County community. Violence varies from our homes, schools, and communities. In our homes, it can consist of arguing, fighting between parents and siblings, school, corporal punishment, bullying, fighting, and in the community with crime. So, recent events of violence in the Holmes County community. Holmes County man accused of killing wife, kidnapping son. Sheriff, man shoots, kills aunt in Holmes County. Jeweler man killed in shooting, local school administrator and partner involved in violent altercation ending in death. Now, we're not saying that corporal punishment is the direct cause of this violence. Instead, we're saying that because of a lack of disciplinary options other than corporal punishment, ISD, in-school detention, suspension, students don't know how to effectively solve their problems and may act out violently.
Corporal punishment equals violence. Corporal punishment is a recurrent problem in the Holmes County School District. Corporal punishment harms children and leaves everlasting physical and emotional effects. Corporal punishment isn't allowed in some of the hardest places in the world, such as mental institutions, armed forces, or even prisons. But it's too often used as the first means of correcting our youth. Corporal punishment impact on students, particularly on young men. Corporal punishment on students overall is cruel and dehumanizing. Focusing specifically on boys, it takes us back to slavery, where we were put out in front of our peers and stripped of our manhood.
Impact on young men. After being administered corporal punishment, young men often return to class withdrawn, frustrated, and angry, now holding resentment toward administrators. This solved nothing and yet it created more problems. And here are young women to tell this story.
Good afternoon. Paddling has some major physical and emotional impacts on our students, on us female students in particular. Concerns about the sexual overtones of subjecting teenage girls to corporal punishment and unease over the link between corporal punishment and domestic violence, life skills, independency, financial stability, dealing with a violent relationship. How can we enforce a mission of preparing students to leave home college ready when we are not taught the necessary tools to be adequately ready for the college life or life in general? Our purpose should be educating and nurturing the whole child instead of enforcing the mentality that it is okay to be beaten by the opposite sex. Teaching female students in school that it is permissible for authority to strike a weaker person who cannot hit back, and female students feel uncomfortable, embarrassed, and humiliated.
There aren't courses or classes or even spaces where female students can feel comfortable, grow, and express themselves without fear. This has been a part of our culture that has continued to linger around in our schools, making it hard to create strong, confident female students and leaders. Girls don't like to be beaten. As a part of us growing and maturing, our bodies go through many changes. Some they can make us feel somewhat ashamed of. Being paddled while on your cycle does not feel good. Being struck on the behind with a hard wooden object does no justice to our struggle to empower our girls. Instead, this cycle continuously spreads a mentality that cripples the potential of our girls. Paddling has to go. I felt embarrassed, ashamed, belittled, worthless, disliked, and I felt like I didn't want to come to school anymore. I will describe to you about the time I got paddled. I am Kershivia Robinson, 6th grade student and youth organizer with Knowledge Jenkins Family Center. I got paddled because the computer lab teacher disliked me. She took me by my uniform shirt and pulled me to her desk. Then she bent me over and started paddling me in front of the entire class. While she was paddling me, she called me all types of names, like ugly and dumb.
Praise God. I can't believe that happened in our schools. Have mercy, Lord. Lord, remember to this. Open your ears. Do it from the bottom up.
She told me I was worthless.
These are the effects of corporal punishment.
told me I was worthless, and I wasn't going to be anything when I grew up.
After she cuddled me, she took me by my uniform shirt and told me that I better not tell anyone about it. She told me if I told anyone that she was really going to get me. For all these years, I have kept this inside of me. I know what happened to me has happened to many other students. It makes us feel worthless, and this is never a feeling we should have. The computer lab teacher took away my confidence and self-esteem. I don't want other students to continue to feel what I have felt. Experiences have been worse than mine. I've heard leaks sound off from down the hall, seeing students come back in the class limping and crying. When will this cycle end?
Alternatives to corporal punishment. Peer mediation. Peer mediation is a discussion-based strategy that teaches students alternative methods to help resolve conflict among their peers. In peer mediation, students trained as peer mediators apply problem-solving strategies to assist their peers in settling disputes that satisfies both students in conflict. This strategy helps keep many minor incidences from escalating over time into more serious incidences. More importantly, peer mediation teaches students an alternative set of skills that they can apply when they encounter conflict. Over time, students in schools with effective peer mediation programs learn that there are alternatives to violence and that violence doesn't solve violence. Restorative justice. Restorative justice involves offenders, people being offended, parents, school personnel, where they sit and talk and brainstorm ways to rebuild trust and rebuild their damaged relationship. Restorative justice has shown a decrease in suspension rates from 40% to 80%, and also a 50% drop in absenteeism and 60% decrease in tardiness.
Conflict resolution. A way for two or more parties to find a peaceful solution to their disagreement. Negotiation is the best way to solve this disagreement. PBIS, Positive Behavior Interventions Support, is a positive, proactive approach to dealing with behavior.
Parents, teachers, principals, and superintendents often say students are our future, but rarely treat us like it. You beat, embarrass, and degrade us like we're worthless. Is this the future you want? If so, I don't want any part in it. There are laws that protect animals from abuse, but not children. If we're abused, it's in the name of discipline or religion. There is an intentional separation of church and state. Policy decisions have to move beyond religious belief and take it from a human rights perspective. Because all people are humans, and all humans deserve dignity and respect. So I ask that you don't take our concerns lightly and that you move on board to abolish corporal punishment. Thank you.